because whether you like them, woo, or you don't, they are the best thing, woo, in the football world today. Woo!
God damn it, dude. Yet another loss. Fuck, dude. That one stung probably the worst. Gators went 0-1 this weekend up in Nashville. Let's just take a moment to.
Yeah,
Fuck, dude.
not much to say.
Just laid an egg. Just laid an absolute egg.
I don't think saying I think it speaks for itself. Let's just say that. Well,
I need another hit of this muff. So, basically, for those of you who tuned into the show, I don't know if you saw it last week, Mac, but we know as Gators that Nashville is a dangerous place for us, even though they were flaunting at every step. They were flaunting that the Gators have not lost in Nashville since 1989, I think, which is true. But the amount of close games that we've had up there, especially in the past few years, I mean, we talked about 2021 versus Vandy, where they came to the swamp. We beat them 42-0 and looked like absolute dog shit doing it. We know that Vandy is one of these teams that gives us problems, but we always seem to come out on top. And I said last week, if they limited turnovers and just didn't make a ton of mistakes, then they would win. And I don't think that, well, they didn't do either of those. Actually, the turnovers weren't bad. I don't know if we turned the ball over. But on downs, we turned it over. And then on special teams, turned it over. And that led to 14 points right there. So, I mean, what can you really say?
yeah, it was a rough day to say the least. I we it,
It sucked ass. It sucked
I don't
ass.
know.
I mean, it's tough to even talk about, or it's tough to even say what it was. It just seemed like the team never really woke up. AR had a ton of yards, but he still somehow didn't play good. Was missing open guys. Was making just bad decisions. Like beaming the ball like he was at the beginning of the season, where he was throwing it at 100 miles an hour to a guy that was 2 yards in front of him. And then, I mean, we just weren't running the ball effectively. That was a big one. So they were selling out in the box and forcing us to pass, and AR just did not have a good day through the air. I mean, I don't know how many yards
he had
gained.
he threw like 420 some odd yards.
He threw for that many, or he ran
Yeah,
through.
he threw for that many.
Well, it just didn't. I mean, I don't know why he was doing that. Like the week before we ran for 400 against South Carolina, so the back should have got a lot more action. Basically, all we could do was AR, passing to. I mean, we didn't have any of our fucking starters in there. Frazier's was not playing. Shorter has taken on sort of the same role um, as a backup. He's not doing a ton. But then I forget who number 16 was. What was his name? It was
Bowman.
Bowman. Yeah, he sucked. He had like 4 drops and just did not play. I mean, he was a liability out there. And then uh, uh, Dejan, who's the other guy?
Dejan Reynolds.
Dejan Reynolds. He looked pretty good, but he did have a costly drop there. But luckily, he got to redeem himself on the same exact play call. So I don't know what that was all about. But yeah, I mean, then I don't know. It was just a weird game. It was just a weird game. I think my biggest takeaways though were that we need a special teams coordinator. I didn't realize how Billy did special teams. I didn't realize we didn't have a special team coordinator. I thought that Chris Couch, the game changer coordinator, was the special teams coordinator. But apparently, how it works is they have split it up between four coordinators to do certain to own different aspects of special teams. And to me, that just seems kind of like, I mean, you have two offensive line coaches, you have two defensive back coaches. Like, why would you leave special teams in, no one's in charge of it? That is kind of what it seems like all year. There just doesn't seem to be a consistent mission. And I think the talent is fine. It's not like we got sucky athletes out there, and our kicker and punter are pretty good. But in South Carolina, that was the only aspect of the game where we really struggled in that whole game, and it cost us points. And it cost us points last week too. So I don't know. That's what pissed me off.
Yeah, it was just it was pathetic. Um, I don't have much more to say. We people are like, well, that was Mullen's team, and that's part of the problem. But
I don't think that. I don't think
but
that
we're
was it.
like
Yeah.
the talent. Like I don't care. Um,
It's Vanderbilt. It's Vanderbilt, and we're Florida. So yeah, what can you say? What can you say? I
so
mean, and
yeah,
there's excuses.
all that momentum that we had going into this after the South Carolina game, the recruiting momentum, all that recruiting momentum might still be there, but that was helping the fan base and building momentum, positive momentum, and you
Mhm.
just lost all that right there.
Yeah, you dropped it, and instead of coming into rivalry week with a head of steam, you're kind of limping out of the season. Not really where we wanted to be to get to 8-4. That's off the table. In fact,
Gun to your head, and you said after that Tennessee or after the Georgia game, Florida's going to go 2-1 heading into to the FSU game. You would have bet your life savings that one of those wins would have been Vanderbilt.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Um, and when you put it like that, like if we're taking into account our expectations in the preseason, we would have thought maybe we do drop one down the stretch to Texas A&M, and it doesn't in the end really matter who the win is against, and it isn't in terms of record, but it does matter because like we could have been playing for 8-4 now, and now we're playing for 7-5, and that's a whole nother bracket of uh, of bowl games. You know what I mean? And FSU all of a sudden they have the upper hand. I think we would have been. We open up as 10.5 point dogs to them. I think it would have been much less had we handled business in Nashville. So,
Yep.
what more can you say? I mean, there's just yeah. I guess we can move on from it. We play Florida State this week. It's in Tallahassee. I think it's a 7:30 kick in Doak Campbell, aka Ronzook Field. Um, I have no fucking idea how it's gonna go. I we say all these things about losing momentum and not getting woke up for the game. I think they'll definitely be awake for this one. I think that goes without question. This still feels like a big rivalry game, but it kind of feels more like, oh, I don't know. In my head, I'm almost moving on to next year already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That Vandy game really killed a lot of. Killed a lot. So I don't know how it's going to go this week, but it feels closer than it did. It feels closer to what it did last year than it did in years past. Last year
Mm-hmm.
I was going into this game, I was like, we don't have anything to lose. a season's shot. Obviously, we didn't have a coach, so it could go either way. Let's just get drunk and have a day. I'm closer to there than I am like, oh, we're gonna kick their ass.
Yeah, that took a lot of wind out of the sails, to say the least. And I, you know, what can you say? This
We've
is
said both those things all episode. I think we've said both those things 3 times apiece. What can you say? Momentum is killed. No wind in the sails.
um, but it's a rivalry. You know what? Fuck those motherfuckers up there in Tallahassee.
Oh yeah.
Those fucking piece of shit, white trash. Like, they say we're hillbilly white trash.
I don't get it.
They're like Tallahassee. Florida State fans are, to me, are like the white trash you see in like Jersey Shore, like that, like
Yeah.
that white trash. Like that's what Tallahassee is. It's not the armpit of, well, geographically it is the armpit
Yeah.
of Florida. It's still a better. I'll say it's a better place in Orlando. I will give Tallahassee some credit there.
I mean, I've had fun on their campus before. But that's beside the point. The people are fucking savage.
Just the rudest
losers.
motherfuckers.
Yeah,
just
they're
like,
terrible.
just like even like there's a lot of fans that like prime example, Georgia fans. When they're good, they're not obnoxious to a point. Like I give them their due for last year winning the national championship. They were a little obnoxious, but they, well deserved. And
Yeah.
to be obnoxious, I mean, it's been fucking 40 years since they won one. So, rightfully obnoxious. But up until that point, and even this year, they're like, oh, yeah, we're gonna beat y'all. We know, but it's always fun.
Yeah.
Coming up here.
A tailgate party.
Hey man, go dogs. And that's like it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Florida State fans, like,
They're assholes.
you can't even try to give them a compliment, and because they have such an inferiority complex.
Oh yeah.
They think that there's like you're like, yeah, y'all got a pretty good team this year. Like, oh, the fuck we do, man. What's your problem, man?
Yeah.
Like they get all on the defensive, and they think you're like about to be like, oh yeah, pretty good team, man. Y'all been stealing them crab legs, ain't you? Like they're waiting. They're waiting for
it.
They're waiting for the hook, and they're beating you to the hook, and then you're like, no, I was being sincere, you asshole.
Yeah,
but
Dalvin's
now,
good. What do you want?
Now, fuck you, dude. I hope y'all fucking lose by 50 to everybody. Yeah. And I hope you get sanctions. I hope you get bull bans. Fuck your university. Fuck your program.
Yeah.
Fuck Bobby Bowden. I hope he.
No, I'll say it. I hope that motherfucker's burning in hell. Fuck you. Fuck you, Bowden. I don't care.
Piece of shit.
Yeah.
It is with that good old boy talk and everything.
You fat old dirty motherfucker.
You're a fucking piece of shit, coach.
Yeah, fucking flaming up there. God, fuck him. I don't like him. There, I said it. Bobby Buttfuck. There he is.
That was such like here we go. I'll say something nice about Florida State. At least Jimbo Fisher didn't hide the fact that he was a scumbag piece of shit.
Yeah.
Bobby Bowden was a scumbag piece of shit from day one.
Yeah, he played preacher about it.
But he was like, he was fucking Dabo Sweeney. He was Dabo before Dabo Sweeney.
Right, exactly. And he just got old enough to where it became like, oh, he's grandpa.
Everyone's like, oh, he's just old grandpa football coach.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that motherfucker's a cheating, lying, sleazy ass son of a bitch.
Yep.
Fuck him.
Right.
And fuck Jimbo Fisher too. But I'm happy that Jimbo Fisher did what he did to your program, Florida State. You deserved every last bit. I don't care how much you think Jimbo fucked you over. He quit recruiting. He didn't recruit an offensive lineman for 3 years. We suck. Boo hoo hoo.
They're still bitching about it. They're still that's still why they lose every week.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, Jimbo left us in a hole. No,
Yeah.
you hired a dumb fuck Willie Taggart who ran that shit further into the ground. We thought we couldn't. Like, y'all got into the core and thought, or y'all thought you were at the core, and then Willie Taggart said, no, we got about 100, we got 10,000 more miles we could drill down.
Yeah. And they were real.
And
they were
now,
real
y'all think Mike Norvell's going to take y'all out of the center of the earth and up, to ground level, but all he's done is just taking you out of the heaping pile of shit. You're not where the worms are anymore, but you're like right in the middle of the shit pile,
Right.
and I think that's where you're going to stay. But
Yeah,
they're happy.
I don't.
But they're happy with it now. Have you
Oh
noticed
yeah.
that?
Oh yeah.
They're 9
they-
and 3. If we could beat Florida, go 9 and 3, go to the bowl game 10 and 3 in year 4. Is this year 4
Three.
or 3? We fired our fucking coach after year 3 when he a year removed from going 11 or 10 and 2 and almost beating Alabama in there, and he had one bad season, and we said, you know what, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Well, they don't know how to handle it.
They're gonna lose to us. They're gonna go 8 and 4. They're gonna go to the Meineke Car Care Bowl or some bullshit like that, or the fucking
GoDaddy.com, some shit
Champ
like
Sports Bowl,
or the Walk-On Bowl,
the number 2 bowl in Orlando,
Yep.
not the Capital One Bowl, but they're gonna go to the Champ Sports Bowl. I don't even think it's called that anymore, and they're gonna lose to they're gonna play some. Who would they play in that matchup? A Big 12 school. They probably play like a 7-5 Baylor team. Or Kansas, and Kansas is going to beat them. Or no, they beat Kansas. They beat Kansas. They go 9 and 4. They're like,
they would get their shit kicked in by Kansas State though. That would be a bloodbath.
We're 9 and 4. Look at us. We're
yeah, sick.
And then
like next year, fucking Mike's gonna go fucking yada yada. What's their recruiting ranking? I'll put it right here. That's their recruiting ranking, and it's dog shit. And I mean, Miami is the most dog water program in the fucking country, and they're way far ahead of that. I mean, what else can you say?
Do you remember what they were saying before the season? They're like, man, if Mike Norvell can make a bowl game in this year, he's got the program going in the right direction.
Shut a dick, dude. I mean,
if he goes to a bowl game in year 3, he's got the program going in the right direction. Are you fucking kidding me?
Is this Kansas? Is this literally Kansas? I mean, yeah, they act like Jimbo torpedoed their program into the fucking dirt. That's the narrative that they've accepted, is that they have become so unfixably bad because of Jimbo Fisher, and then any win is a fucking miracle, And then he's out there doing shit like he did in NC State. Roll the tape.
Drive started at the Seminole 8-yard line. Travis throws. Left side. Locks it. And Burton's there to pick it off.
And he does shit like that. And that's the worst kind of coaching decision that you can make. Like throwing the ball with the game on the line when you're on the doorstep. And why did you do it? Because your kicker sucks. And why don't you have fucking kicker figured out in year 3? What are we still doing? They're still not ready to play.
I'm looking at their schedule next year, and I don't want to get ahead of myself. They're not going to beat LSU for a second time.
Is Travis coming back next year?
I think so. I mean,
I think he sucks anyways. I think he's very, very overrated. And last year we killed him. I mean, he played like shit versus us last year.
I'm looking at their schedule. They're going to lose to Clemson. They're going to lose to LSU. They'll probably lose to us in the Swamp. I'll say that. So that's 3 losses. They're due for at least 1 loss between Wake Forest and NC State. And wait, they don't play NC State next year? Are they doing away with? Are they doing away with conferences next year in the ACC?
I don't know. At divisions, you mean?
Or divisions? Because they don't have NC State on the schedule or Louisville.
I don't know, bro.
They must be. Anyway, besides the point, or besides the fact they're going to go 8-4, 9-3 next year, maybe again, and that like they are now they're like what Mark Richt was at Georgia, but
a little
but
worse. A couple
yeah,
games worse.
they're a great value Mark Richt Georgia.
Yeah, Dollar General.
They're instead of them recruiting in the top 10, they're going to recruit in the top 20,
Right.
and instead of going 10-2, 9-3, they're going to go 9-3, 8-4, and they're going to be satisfied with that.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with that is, I don't have a problem with that. If Florida State fans are fine, happy, realizing what they are at 9-3, 8-4 every year,
Mm-hmm.
and so be it. We have been a proponent of Mike Norvell. This podcast has been
very pro Norvell.
We want Mike Norvell to get a lifetime contract at Florida State,
I'm
and
down.
I think, and silver lining here. If they beat us, silver lining, he will get a massive contract extension.
And yeah, that would be delicious. Hopefully,
hopefully
it bankrupts them, because I think they're
almost-
paying 3 coaches right now.
It'll almost be in the realm of when Will Muschamp beat Florida State in 2012, did good that year, got an extension, and then in 2013 happened, and we were like, "Fuck! I wish we could fire this guy, but we just gave him an extension, so we can't." So they had to wait one more year, and then just like Georgia in 2020 when we beat when Dan Mullen when Florida beat Georgia, and we gave him an extension.
Grantham got an extension.
We gave him an extension, and Georgia fans were like,
"Hell yeah!"
They're like, "Fuck yeah, we know this guy." Like that was a 1-year thing. Like he ain't gonna beat him. And then we saw what happened in 2021, and Kirby stuffed his ass in a locker like he did the 2 years before 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And so that may be what is gonna happen. Like this year, we could lose, but year 2, 3, 4, 5 under Billy Napier is gonna be ass whooping central for Florida State.
Yep, I totally agree. I think I've said this time and time again. Mike Norvell, grad assistant vibes. He wears golf shoes like a fucking loser, or he wears golf cleats, which is somehow weirder than when fucking Harbaugh wears football cleats. But let's move on. Let's do the predictions and we'll play this out. I'll go first. I think that this is going to be a defining moment for the Gators. I think a lot can happen in this game, and if it goes one way, it could be very good. If it goes another, I don't think it hurts us that bad. I don't think the downside is really that bad at all this year, but the upside is huge. Could help us a lot in recruiting. It would help this team rolling into bowl season, and that momentum could carry on through the whole off season, especially it being at Doak Campbell. Road AR, as we all know, is a force to be reckoned with. Even last week when he sucked absolute ass, he still threw for 420 yards or something like that. So I like the Gators here. I mean, I don't know what you want from me. I think that we're going to walk into fucking Ron Zook Field, rightfully take our place, stomp their ass, take care of business. It's fucking Friday night prime time, and we're gonna pound their fucking asses into the ground. I mean, what do you want? ATN's gonna fucking eat. Montrell Johnson's gonna fucking run for a Billy, and AR is gonna throw 4 and run for another Billy. So, what do you want from me? We're gonna stomp them. Gators 31. Seaman Holes 21.
All right. Florida State does not do a fuck all of anything that scares me. Now, on offense or defense, they've preyed upon some bullshit ass ACC teams. I know they're saying, "Oh, well, those teams could beat Vanderbilt." Well, no shit. Like we sucked ass against Vanderbilt. We sucked ass against fucking Kentucky too. Kentucky would beat y'all by 30 right now, fucking now.
Word.
Oh, we beat LSU. LSU beat y'all. Well, y'all had some tune-up game the week before LSU. Y'all played some bumfuck school,
Yep.
South Louisiana Tech University State, and beat them by 40,
Yep.
and of course y'all look better. Y'all had a preseason game. In week 0 for all that. If you're gonna play week 0, you got to play a real fucking team. That's all I'm gonna say.
It was LSU's first game, under the Kelly regime.
Under a new coach.
Yeah.
And fucking Norvell, after that game, like, they won the fucking Super Bowl.
And they should have lost it.
They tried to lose it. They tried to lose that game 8 times.
Yep.
So here we are. They're gonna say that. They're gonna say, well, look at LSU. Look at this. Well, then I look at Clemson, and I see what Clemson did to y'all's ass. Then I look at how you lost to an NC State team that did not have their quarterback. I don't know how that happens. Who else beat them? Wake Forest. Wake Forest beat them.
Yep.
These are all teams that are, as the young bucks would say, mid. I think they suck. I think Florida State is overrated. They beat the worst Miami team in history.
Yeah.
Any good team they played, it's been a close. It's either been they got their ass kicked by Clemson, or it was a close game against LSU, or they lost to average NC State and Wake Forest teams. So, with that being said, FSU does not scare me one bit, and we're a 9.5 point dog now. I'm not scared. I'm not worried. I think you're getting if you're betting this game, we don't bet on the Gators because we can't be disappointed 2 times. But you're getting Florida on a fucking value right there because recency bias. They just lost to a very bad Vanderbilt team. FSU is looking good. They're putting up points. They're stopping people, but they're stopping shitty teams. And they're a home team. So you're getting them on a value pick, or you're getting Florida on a value pick because if we would have beat Vanderbilt last week, even if we only beat them by a fucking field goal, Florida might be a 5-point dog in this game. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe even 4. And then you're getting close to Vegas thinks it's a pick 'em if it's on a neutral site at that point. I'm not scared of FSU. I don't think we're going to blow them out just because Florida, the way Florida's played, I don't think Florida makes too many mistakes to blow a team out. Because even if you look at the South Carolina game, we left fucking 20 points out there. We should have beat South Carolina 50-6, and we didn't. So I think this game is going to be close. I think it's going to be a dogfight. Because I don't think Florida's a very good team. I just think it's going to be very telling in year 1 under Billy Napier when we go in there and beat them by 6 versus year 3, and they're gonna run, tuck tail, walk back in and be like, well, before the season we just wanted to make a bowl game. We're 8-4, and we win our bowl game. We'll be happy, and that's what they're gonna do, and they're gonna justify it like, oh, we won 9 games and we were only supposed to win 5 or 6, and here we are. We're gonna win 7. We're gonna go 7-5, beat Florida State, and we're gonna be like, yeah, at least we beat Florida State, but you got to get shit together. We got to. We might have the same record at the end of the year if we win our bowl game, win this game. Florida State loses, drops their bowl game. We're both 8-5. Y'all 8-5 in year 3. We're 8-5 in year 1 in a way tougher conference. Yeah, reality check time.
Oh yeah.
So I like Florida to win this game. 30. Let's see. 31-28 Florida.
31-28.
Because their kicker sucks ass. Actually, 31-27. He'll miss an extra point. Florida State's kicker will miss an extra point.
All right, 31-28 and a missed extra point.
31-27. They missed the extra point, so they can't play for a fucking field goal at the end, so they're going to be chucking it deep, and he's going to throw it to a wide-ass open Jason Marshall sitting over the middle, and he's going to catch the pick, lay down, and then AR's going to take a knee, and then that's that.
That's my favorite formation in football. Victory. All right. Well, that is going to do it. This is the regular season finale for Workham Silly. I think we will probably have a bowl preview the week of whatever bowl we're in. But if you want to follow along on Twitter, we're going to be tweeting through that up until the season ends. So go follow us at workemsilly_pod. But until then, I'm Champ Brantley for Doug Dickey and Mac Murphy and Bad Take Peyton and all the boys at Workem Silly. Yeah, go Gators!
Woo!